let my dick go.
Test them.
Looks like we're live again.
We're not live, but yeah.
Well,
Stop saying
I
we're
meant
live.
like it's live. It's
Oh wait, no, we are
We
doing
live.
it live.
lit.
Remember, I'm gonna run it live.
This guy walks into the show last night and he like inhales super deeply and he's like, "It smells lit." And Ian laughs like way too
What's
hard
that
at
mean?
that. It just means it smells like a fucking dirty ass rave.
Yeah, like doesn't really.
Like
make
whenever
sense.
the complex has a show, it just smells like straight like weed and like
ass.
grungy, sweaty, like
and the
It
neighborhood
sounds
that
like
the
somebody
complex
smoking
is
weed in a men's locker room at a gym.
yeah, literally, literally. I'm like,
dank, extra dank.
I don't know what that smells like,
When
but I
your
assume.
weed is too
Terrible.
dank in the wrong sense
it
of the word.
smells lit. I was like, okay, well, you're ready for tonight.
Extra dank.
Why are you making so much noise, Stan?
I have a phone pad.
Yeah. I put a new cloth thing on, that's why.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, fuck my entire life. All right. So,
Hey, guys.
did we decide it's episode 27?
Yeah, I think this is
Mathematics.
27. We have been gone 3-4 weeks.
Slacking.
It's definitely longer than that.
Do you think so?
No, I'm pretty sure it's like 4
This is April. We for sure didn't do anything
We
in
didn't do
March.
anything in March. I think we did.
All month?
We did right before my birthday, didn't we? In February?
I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, it's definitely been more than 3 or 4 weeks. 'Cause 4
It
weeks
does
is
seem like
28
Megan's
days.
pre-birthday was like the last episode.
Yeah. And my birthday was the very last week of February. So maybe 5 weeks?
I don't know. It was long enough. I was fine with it.
Sean hates this now, so.
I don't hate it. I'm just unclear
We're unclear.
about
We had a.
what's going on.
We had a cute, fun little meeting about
We just ate Mongolian
Yeah,
barbecue.
Mostly was
lots of
Food.
food. Way too much food. Sten was smart and didn't go back for seconds. Because as
Pussy.
soon as we started eating that second
Well, I
plate,
ate
all,
3 eggs, so
all
that
of
slowed it
that
down.
makes
He was
sense.
full of protein.
All of us were dying.
Oh, I should have seen if the tablet was working now.
Oh,
Next time.
Sounder
We don't need
Central.
intro.
dead tablet.
Just we have them all memorized by now.
Yeah. I was tasting my own cum or something. And,
Oh my god.
and then he swallowed the jizz. What did you say? He's like,
So what you're saying is
So
the
what
pussy
you're
drove
saying-
you so
so
insane that
so
you had to taste
crazy.
your own sauce.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right.
And there's like a bunch of Let My Dick Breathe ones. Now I want them again. Fuck.
My dick breathe podcast.
Patrick Swayze's faggot baby faggot Swayze.
Oh yeah, he goes, and I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if that's gay.
I'm not even
Does
sure
that
if
make me
that's
gay? I'm not even sure.
Look, we spiked it out.
So this whole episode is just us repeating the sounders.
Fucking enjoy
Solid
it.
start.
No, I mean, I guess like sort of sorry that we didn't do podcasts.
Sorry,
I'm
not sorry.
I'm not at all.
I fucking asked on the Facebook page. I was like, "Who missed us?" Only 2 people commented. I was like, "Wow, this makes us really want to come back, guys. Like, where the fuck is the love?"
It's the only 2 people who listen. Don't tell anybody.
Oh,
2 fans.
2 fans.
I'm just kidding. I'm
log
actually
into
like,
different pages.
I'm
and
actually
listen
super
17
shocked.
times.
I'm super shocked at how many people actually listen. Like that's the thing that still like throws me off when I look.
Yeah.
Because I went through and like logged into a bunch of shit today because I was gonna have to like make some changes, just like uploading some shit. And I was like, I can't believe this many people saw this.
Right.
It's so
That
fucking
doesn't make
weird.
sense
I'm like,
to me.
Like, why is there over 1,000 people watching this? It makes no sense.
Well,
at
how
all.
much of
It's
it did they
dumb.
watch to like make it count? Like, what if they
I
just
looked at the average of one of them that had 1,670 something views.
Holy
Like, how long
shit.
into
But the like the average like the so like this,
Length of
when it
watch.
shows the duration of watch, like
Yeah.
it's like a window with like different bars. I don't know how to explain it,
Yeah.
but like it was like a pretty good percentage watched an average of 49 minutes.
Oh
which
shit.
is like
That's like
That's
a
like most of
good
an episode.
chunk of it. Yeah.
so. I mean, there's people watching, I guess, like for whatever reason. Y'all are weird, but
I mean, I know that I need to keep
Fucking
this up
idiots.
because my level of dick pics has definitely gone down since I've been like doing the DM.
you haven't been getting dick pics.
Yeah, like none.
It's
like
dick deterrent.
Yeah.
So wait, what you're saying is if girls don't want to get dick pics, they just have to say they're going to start talking about dick pics on the podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the magic trick.
Who just sent? Oh yeah, that's right. Somebody that I guess we all know
Oh my
had
god.
somebody send their girl a dick pic, and I just like randomly thought about it, but I won't say their name for now.
Had to
That
handle
was
it.
so stupid.
He sent me a message. He's like, I can't really do anything about this because I can't be a dick, and I was like, I got you.
Yeah, you could be a dick,
Because I can't
though.
be a dick.
He literally
Aw.
didn't even have to ask me to do it. I was
Yeah,
like,
you're
all right,
like,
yeah, I got you.
done. I'm gonna fuck this.
He's
guy's
like, "Okay,
life up."
thanks."
Okay, thanks.
Handle it, team.
I assume he knew the answer when he asked, or when he brought it up.
Right, of course.
Like he
of
knew what
course.
was going to happen.
Useful.
So we'll probably go back to doing it once a week.
Yay!
And by it, I mean the podcast.
Sundays.
Doing
don't-
it and doing it and doing it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sten's schedule, I guess, is staying like this, right, for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
And Megan-
on Sundays,
Megan
I'm
goes too
always
hard in
off
the
at
paint.
6 and
on Saturdays,
I'm still here. I had to work though. So.
Can't believe you work Sundays. That sucks.
Well, I work like one Sunday a month.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was a
So-
regular thing.
No, we're just like required to rotate them and work like one Sunday a month.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's pretty cool. But I raged last night. So.
Megan hates her job though.
No, it's actually pretty cool.
Are you saying that because somebody watches? Because you called me and you're like, I fucking hate this job.
Oh no, that was so. There are certain aspects of it that suck. Like that one day, I was dealing with super shitty people, but for the majority, it's like just easy and.
Yeah, you do like weird like insurance something, don't you? I don't remember.
I do. I'm like an underwriter. I do like lease processing.
That sounds gay.
I deal with like numbers and loans, and I'm like, hey,
No, you're
Documents.
terrible at math.
let me approve you.
But your calculator is
That's what
probably pretty good.
computers
Yeah, I was like, I have a fucking
I
calculator.
don't do math. I have an app that
spreadsheet,
does it
and, yeah.
all.
I was like, I've got like an underwriting system. I just like plug information into.
Oh,
It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't hand do all of these. No way.
Yeah.
That would take me forever.
yeah, probably because you suck at math.
Even accountants
I
are
do.
like that. It's
Yeah,
form
it's
filling.
all automatic now.
Are you guys cool with us starting World War III?
Oh. I don't know.
I don't think we're actually starting it, but I actually had this weird little moment because I kept seeing that thing. It was like, look at the contenders for World War III or the teams or something.
I saw that
and
too.
it was like there was only like 4 or 5, obviously, on the quote unquote other team. One of them
Right.
being China, which would be a
Supporting
problem
Syria.
theoretically,
Yeah,
but
could be.
and Russia. Anyway, I don't want to
Russia
talk about
was mad about that.
well, it's because we were blowing up their shit.
The
in
weird
Syria.
part that I thought
Oh,
about that was
makes sense.
Saudi supported us.
Saudi always supports us.
They hate us though. The only thing they
No,
like about
they
us
like
is that
us-
we buy our oil.
yeah.
Their oil.
Yeah, they like our money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
but like as society, they fucking hate us.
Yeah, that's the place that women
Money
still can't drive.
Right.
talks, though. Money is everything.
Yeah, sort of.
So-
So anyway, the only reason that I thought it was funny is I had this fucking weird moment where I looked at that and I was like, man, the internet really has changed people, because if you would have posted something similar to that on like a community bulletin board that people checked often because that's what people used to do back in the day. Like, can you
would know.
imagine the fucking panic that would have been caused at saying that somebody started World War III?
Oh my gosh. It's
They
just
have,
like
they have no way to check.
Yeah.
It's not like here we can just I
Yeah.
can Google it.
It would
you
have
know
been
what I
like
fake news.
news official back then.
Yeah,
Well,
they would
it's
have been
just
like,
like,
holy fuck.
wasn't there like some Halloween prank back in the 50s where they said there was some alien invasion and it went out on the radio and everyone was
Oh yeah, everybody
freaking
freaked out.
out.
I don't. Was that on Halloween?
Yeah,
It was
sometime.
like the 50s or 60s. And
Yeah.
the guy's like a super famous. He's like an author, and what they were actually doing is reading a book, and they read it, but didn't tell people that it was a book, and
No
they read
context.
it. It's
They just
like-
read it over the radio.
yeah, and
'Cause
the
everyone
dude
listened
like
to radio.
freaked and people were freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. They were like in their bomb shelters
Yeah.
and like raiding stores.
Now you can just Google that shit and be like,
As
shut up,
much
that's
as-
fake, bro. I'm on Snopes right now.
First result is Snopes. Yeah.
I always wondered if what if Snopes just does shit to fuck with people?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Illuminati.
What
Snopes
if
is
everything is
You're like,
a lie?
you're like, it's sort of like a reverse engineering of the thing that was already fake. You're like, wait, what?
Well, we can tell Sean just hit that pen.
What?
You type in Illuminati.com, it redirects to Snopes.
Watermelon.
Illuminati top.
JK, just Snopes.
It's watermelon Gorilla Glue, and it's pretty great.
Gorilla Glue. Is that the strain?
Yeah.
Puffing over there.
Glues your
What
eyes
is
shut.
that? Oh, Sean, you're losing space.
No, I'm not recording. What? On what?
I know your thing just popped up.
I know, but what does that even mean?
Alert.
Alert!
But I don't know how to find it.
World
It's
War
shutting
III is
us down.
beginning.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed, or one of the things that like fucked us up with the podcast, rather, was the whole computer issue.
Yeah,
But-
that like crashed our very last episode.
The
we
computer
timed
issue
out.
is like 1,000% fixed.
Yay!
This computer now.
Overkill fixed.
This computer now is over the top savage. I ended up going to Windows 10, which sucks a bag of dicks, but it is what it is.
Sean, computer genius.
I'm not a computer genius at all. I literally have to Google every single thing that I do, and then I probably have to ask somebody to do it. But
The
like,
fact that you can take Google and like make that work though is like fantastic.
it's been frustrating.
I'm
but
like, just
now
buy
it's all
me a
good.
new one. I don't know how to do this.
I was literally at the point where I'm like, I'm just building a whole new computer. I'm gonna take all the parts to one of these computer friends, and they're gonna fucking put it together, and they're gonna put Windows on it, and we're gonna be done.
Lego it out.
Good thing you have such good friends.
I do, dude. I just had friends come play Captain Save-It with me like 3 hours away.
Yeah. Oh
Saw
my
that.
god, that sucks
Yeah.
so bad. Tell us about that
I don't.
journey.
I left Vegas on time in my head. I was like, I try
You
not to
never
drive.
do.
No, but I left like I was pretty
When have you ever
early
left
in the
Vegas on
day.
time?
Never,
You know
not
what I
even
mean?
once.
I left at like 2 as opposed to leaving like 5.
Oh Jesus.
I think was it 2? Anyway,
It's
yeah, because it's
some-
changed
something
time
like
zones.
that.
So yeah. So yeah, because it like anyway, I'm driving the back. I'm driving the back. I'm
Driving the back.
Driving back
Driving in the back.
Get
in
it?
Dad Van 3, and I
Heard
started
some
getting this.
clunks.
No, I started getting this fucking super creepy vibration, and I slowed down, and I was like, okay, it's like relative to speed, which is weird. And then I was like, oh, I think it fixed it. So I started going again, and it started shaking again, and it's like shaking the whole wheel, and like it would do this thing where it was like jumping from like it'd stay in the lane, but it jumped from like one side of the lane to the other, just like
Yeah.
randomly.
It would just turn you.
Yeah, just like yank me to one side.
Oh my god, that's so scary.
And well, there's nobody around.
Oh, I know, but
It's
still.
like Thursday on I-15.
Whenever
It's
anything
Beaver.
alarm it. Just
odd
alarm it.
happens to my car, if I hear like a different sound or if I like smell something weird, I panic so hard.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I don't, and then I don't know that I slowed down and I thought I might have had like a flat tire. Like it was that kind of feeling, but some of the symptoms didn't really make sense for a flat tire, but I was like, oh, they're new tires, new wheels.
Pull
I'll
over,
check it out.
it.
Pulled over, checked, everything was fine. I pulled off at like an exit and pulled back on the freeway. And then the same shit would happen. And it was like speed related, but then it was, I could change it with throttle position. So if there's a load on the motor, it was there. If there was no load on the motor, it wasn't there. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, it's got to be fucking axles. Like that's the only thing that it could be,
Yeah.
like all of these things. And I pulled off in another exit and decided to like look under the car. And sure enough, there was like axle grease everywhere. I could shake one of the axles, just like reaching underneath and grabbing it and
Dripping
shaking.
off of
shaking.
it. Oh my god.
So, yeah, and I was,
in the middle of fucking
Trapped.
nowhere.
yeah, I was
is where you
literally,
were.
I was north of Parowan or Parowan, whatever the fuck that is, and south of Beaver. So like north of Cedar City,
Not
but
even to Beaver.
south of Beaver.
Damn.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god,
like
that's the
I was
worst
at the
stretch
bottom.
of road.
Yeah.
I was at the bottom of the hill that goes up into Beaver.
Oh,
Yep, that's
that
where you
big
get
ass hill.
stuck if it's like snowing too hard.
Yeah,
and
that's
you
Yeah.
turn
yeah,
and
because
there's
what I
fucking nothing.
where I
you
pulled
can't go
into
in
was a
the,
chain
like,
up
canyon
area.
area, yeah.
So yeah, and then Bino came and
Bino.
and Lois, as they call him.
Lois.
I think his name's actually like Luis, but
Okay. I'm like,
Lois
what?
Lane.
I
a
haven't been
good
to
name
Vegas
but
for
they
a hot minute.
they drove down with a truck and trailer, and
Rescued
they picked me up, and we
you.
got back at like 3:30 in the morning.
That's nothing
Jesus.
new for you.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of whatever, but I felt bad about it no matter what.
Yeah.
Vegas was cool though. Vegas was warm as fuck.
Yeah, it's
It was
good
like
in there.
81 degrees when I left, and then of course on the drive back we ended up going like 20 miles an hour through a snowstorm in Utah County.
Of course, always.
I'm like,
Always.
okay, good. Glad I left that weather.
Normal things.
But I didn't do anything anyway. I just like hung out and went to dispensaries mostly.
I'll be in Vegas next month. I haven't been to Vegas for like 3 years.
What are you doing there?
So Ian decided to say, hey, we're going to EDC
Oh,
a month before EDC.
doesn't need much planning.
I'm like, oh, you realize that
doesn't.
like I plan for this in like 3 months minimum. Like I need to know.
As
that
long as you
we're
have a nice
going.
place to stay, should be fine.
So I guess we are going with like his boss and stuff, and he's gonna get us in, and we're all gonna get a big Airbnb. But then
That's the way to do
he's
it.
like, well, we're just gonna book a hotel just in case they fall through, and we booked it on Expedia because they let you cancel within like 24 hours with like no fee or anything.
Yeah.
So even if I don't end up like going to actual EDC, we're still gonna go to Vegas.
True.
And I haven't been back since last EDC because it was a fucking shit show.
Usually is.
Yeah, but I'm excited. So
Yeah, no. Traffic's bullshit. Fuck that place.
And Ian's never been to EDC, so I'm excited to like
Oh, that's a reason.
I think it looks
share in that
cool.
experience.
Like, it
It's-
looks cool from the freeway.
Yeah, it's
I'm not trying to be in it.
giant and fantastic, but like the line and the traffic sucks. But once
Yeah.
you're in, it's good, and I'm stoked that they're doing it in May because it was so
So that people stop dying.
hot. Yeah, literally, it was so hot. I remember
Preventative measures.
the last day it was like
including rescheduling?
112, and then
Fuck.
in the middle of the night, I checked my phone and it was like 95 degrees at like midnight on the
Yeah.
blacktop. I was like, fuck this.
No.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
was
fucking
so
crazy.
If I ever go to
upset.
EDC, I'd want to be like in a helicopter flying over it.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean that's like
see it,
It's
You
like
can
not
get a
be, like,
helicopter
trapped
ride
in it.
into it. It's like a super expensive
yeah,
ticket.
you can. It's like $5,000. You get helicoptered in.
But
You
then
can
you're
get a
stuck
hotel
there.
though too though. You get the hotel and the helicopter flight
Yeah.
for $5,000 because that helicopter lands on a hotel.
On the hotel.
Yeah.
And then it gets you into the pad, and then you go do the EDC thing, and then it picks you up and takes you back to the hotel.
Oh, it's worth every penny.
But yeah,
It's
I
worth
was like,
every
oh,
I don't think
fuck.
it, I don't know if it would be that
It's
cool.
worth
I also heard a
every
bunch of the
penny.
artists ride helicopters.
Yeah,
out.
yeah, they all do.
Huh.
Or they all just have like their buses like behind.
So they're not trapped there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird idea to be like that claustrophobic in a huge open area.
Yeah.
Like,
but
people claustrophobic.
It happens. Well, there's like 400,000 people go.
Yeah, it's way too fucking many. I know that.
It's a
Like when you see it from the
ton.
freeway, you're like, "Holy fuck, that's huge!" And then you're like, see the crowd numbers, and you're like, "Oh,
You're like-
well,
That's
you need a lot of area for those people."
I think main stage gets like average like 70,000 to 100,000 people like watching each act.
I think that's actually the
end of
thing
the
that I
night.
dislike about it is that there's multiple stages going on, and like,
Oh, I love that.
well, yeah, but the fact that you'd have to like walk from like one
One end.
theoretical
Yeah,
like
travel.
venue to another,
stage to
Yeah.
stage.
and then like, how long does that actually take you? Because I'm guessing it
They
takes.
can't
a
be
while.
that close together.
Yeah.
Well, they're close together, but they're facing out away from each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
you have to
like,
go
from an
out,
audio
around,
Yeah.
and
So
in?
like from an audio standpoint, like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
'Cause it sounds
So
going the other
main
way,
stage
but-
is like backed into the corner, and then on the other end of the speedway, there's one like facing out, and then there's one like over here facing in, and they're all like facing in different
Yeah.
directions, but they're all like way spread out.
Yeah, so like seeing
That's how gun ranges
if
are.
you had like a thing,
you have to shoot
Right?
outward.
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you,
it's
if
all
you had a
outward.
thing that was like somehow there's two acts at the same time,
You have to
you'd
run.
have to like
Yeah,
go
you do
between
have
the
to
two,
run.
and it's like
or
fuck.
you have to decide which one you're gonna miss 15 minutes of.
Yeah, and for me it's all of them.
You do have like really good food in there too.
Is
though.
Kashmir gonna be there?
Yeah, on Saturday.
Your boy.
I'm
Yeah.
not going.
What about slushy?
Yeah, probably.
I want to go just fucking high five slushy. Like I don't.
He's
wanna,
so cool. He's like so funny too. He's exactly
like-
what he looks like.
Seems
Yeah.
like a cool
Like
guy.
his
to have as a
attitude is
friend.
exactly what he looks like.
Like, he reminds me of fucking Kevin Smith. Like the director. Oh, I guess he's an actor too. Anyway,
But no, Kashmir's gonna be there. Like EDC is where everyone goes.
That's true. It's
All
kind of the top.
artists go, yeah,
will Tiesto be there?
always.
Probably expensive.
Does Tiesto live in Vegas at this point?
He used to. He had a live-in
Did he
show
have a
in Vegas, but I
residency?
don't know if it's still there. Like I don't know if he still has it. I
What
remember
club
seeing.
Can
it.
you move up
that?
from that?
Move up from a residency,
Yeah,
graduate. Yeah, maybe if you do a residency in like the Netherlands or something.
Oh, true. I think that's where he's from too.
Yeah, I think he's Dutch.
Is he Dutch?
They all of those guys are.
Any that are good are.
Slushy?
Yeah. No, he's 100%
Slush,
American.
Slushy's 100% from his grandma's basement.
Trans-wise, at least.
Literally. Yeah, all the trans guys, all of like the house guys
Yeah.
are all from Europe. Martin Solveig just came, and he's super French. He's like, I just want to smoke a cigarette and get out of here. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's random. What a dick.
Nah, he's just French.
Gross.
French people are just assholes.
That could be real.
It could be.
Have you guys done anything cool? Anything changed in your life in the past month? Even though we talk every day, I'm really just saying this to see if you say something to other people.
Oh yeah, true. Y'all don't know our lives. I've been taking pole classes, and she's been kicking my ass.
I insert all the stripper jokes
Oh
right
my
here.
god, it's so hard.
I know this girl that I dated, Kristen, was like way into it. She like competitive pole dancing, and I was always like,
That's what I like
That's
want
so cool.
to
that shit's
get
fucking
good at to
impressive
do.
as fuck.
It's just like gymnastics.
It looks like the hardest workout you could imagine.
we did like climbs the other day.
It's like always your weight.
Yeah,
like
anything
your
with
full
Exactly.
body
body
weight.
weight.
Yeah,
So
that's
Exactly.
fucking hard.
But it's also like the positioning that you use so that it's safe for you works the weirdest muscles. Like when she had us do climbs, you're like an inchworm. Like it's so weird, and it works muscles
That's
that
what
like
she
I
said.
didn't even know I had. And I get home, I'm fucking exhausted. I
It works
couldn't.
your thigh like bone.
Yeah,
The
literally.
muscles that attach to
We
your
have to like
bone.
hit our hip bone on it, and it's like
Oh my.
I always just think it's cool the way that you can like hang on a pole with like tension of your skin, essentially.
yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
there's more to it than just that, but like that's where
Basically
it's
that,
coming
yeah,
from.
yeah.
Well, that's what they told us. They're like, you wear shorts and then like a shirt or a sports bra to class because you want
You need that skin.
you want your skin to grip the pole. And the instructor was so funny. She's like, this will probably happen to you. And she like grabbed the skin on her thigh and like stretched it out so far.
What?
She's like, we become elastic little rubber bands. And I was like, ew.
What the fuck? But does it like snap back to
disgusting.
place though? Or is
Yeah,
it like,
no, it
oh.
wasn't like
She doesn't look
hanging
weird?
off of her.
I thought it was gonna look like fucking like gack or whatever. like, hanging off.
like
Weird.
slime like dripping.
Stretch marks.
Why are you
in
doing it
places
for your
that no one
vagina?
gets stretch
Slime
marks.
like
Well,
dripping.
'cause that-
First of all,
it's
nobody
right
can
on
see
your
that but
thighs.
us, so
I
it's
know,
weird.
but-
You're like showing the
I have to,
camera.
like,
They can guess what's
Yeah,
going on
right.
down there.
and then you get bruises like fucking everywhere. It's not
That
like a
I can
pretty
see.
thing.
No, it looks cool when it's like being done right though.
Yeah, and my instructors make it look so easy. Like they just
True.
fucking like climb and spin on these poles.
What's
I'm
it?
like, what
Where's the? Is it like a
fuck?
place?
Yeah, I go to Onyx.
Oh,
It's in
okay.
Sandy.
This one, she actually when she lived here, she like came from Oregon to hang out with me for like a year.
Oh, nice.
Whatever.
For a whole year.
Yeah, it's like
That's a long time.
that's actually.
Hang out
I'm-
with me for.
I'm
a year.
actually
pretty sure it's,
oversaying
like,
that. It might have been like
dating.
9
Yeah,
months.
that's. as close
No,
to
because
a
it's the girl that I
relationship.
used to bang out like way back in the day. I've actually told you the story. It's the girl with the prom night thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, so that sounds super weird to everybody else.
they're like, what?
It doesn't matter. That's
Don't worry.
It's all fine.
You can
Um,
ask in the DM.
All that matters is she was
Yeah.
18.
Yep, that's what matters.
See?
This was a long time ago. I want to make this really clear.
Sean was not as old as he is
This
now.
was literally 12 years ago.
Jesus, I was.
Do the math.
Fuck off,
I'm
Megan.
just kidding.
I was just born.
I was 13 years old.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Pole.
Oh yeah.
She came
Oh yeah.
from
So she came.
Oregon
She was
to
going to
do
a place called
pole.
like Pole Dance Fitness or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
there's one that was
it was
close
up in like
to my
Sugar
house.
House area.
Yeah, it's La Bomb now or something.
Yeah, I know it changed the name because I tried
Yeah.
to look it up.
Yeah. Well, and I was about to go to that one, but I wanted more of like the dance aspect to it because this teaches you like how to choreograph your moves once you've like moved up a ton.
What you're saying is this is actually a
Stripper
stripper
academy.
class as
Well,
opposed to a pole dance fitness class.
It is a pole fitness, but then they also
Choreography,
like, they
not
add
really just exotic dancing.
yeah, so
Not
they
just, like,
add
tossing
on
the titty
like
out.
they said it's a lot like ballet and like circus gymnastics, but then they
Mm-hmm. Circus
also
is terrible.
have a
Get rid of the
gymnast
circus.
or like a exotics class you can like integrate into it if you want to be more like a stripper, or you can just do like the cool like
I'm into it.
fucking
That's cool.
spin around.
Sounds like a lot of effort to
It is. It really
be
is.
physical.
But it's cool though. I've like felt myself getting stronger, and I'm gonna
Progress.
put one up.
Emotionally,
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Confidence. Fuck no. Doubt it. Wow.
That's not
way
real.
to put me down.
just being realistic.
But I'm probably gonna put a pole in my garage. And
Oh, I can see where that goes.
For practice.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to get another dog soon, so we need to go to the shelter.
I'm also wanting to get another dog.
Yes.
I already got a dog.
And Stan's
Must
got a
be
dog.
nice. Must be nice to get dogs.
We
All
should
the
post up
dogs.
the little nugget pic.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be the photo for this one.
Sten's dog is so cute.
I just thought of a title too. I'll write it down.
Yo, look here.
Why did I just hear a
Oh,
weird
perfect.
pop?
Because I just moved something.
No, before that. It went.
Because everything's breaking. This
No,
is,
no, everything's breaking. Like, I finally just like reset everything back up, and I was like worried as shit wasn't working.
Seems to
Apparently,
be
I got some of the
working
cables backwards because everybody's mics are misnumbered now. But I don't know how that worked.
Just plug cables into whatever.
So since Renato watches this, shout out to Renato for winning Best Wheels.
Oh yeah, another one.
screen
That's
back.
another one of my customers. It's not a big deal. I'm so used to it.
Another one of. I mean,
Another one.
We did walk around and pick a lot of different wheels. And
taking over.
And you didn't actually have a say. You just like voted basically.
Oh yeah, no. I heard that I had to say. I actually heard that I picked within about 45 minutes
Oh
of
my
us unloading all the
God.
shit that day. Somebody's like, "Oh, imagine that one of your customers won Best Wheels," and it's like somebody I'm not friends with.
You're like, do you, of course, of
And
course.
I was like,
Excuse
I was
me?
like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm ready.
imagine that.
I
That
was
never
like,
happens.
I'm used to
Yeah.
it.
Even that
It's
shows
kind
you're
of
not
whatever.
even fucking at.
And I said it because it's like somebody I don't care about
You're
at
like,
all.
maybe
You know,
it's
So-
because I'm the best. Did
Yeah.
you
And he
ever
goes-
think about that?
Causation
he goes,
correlation.
He goes, it must be nice to be able to pick your own customers to win your trophies. And I was like, wait, I didn't pick him.
Sean's all innocent. He's like, what? Wait.
No, I was like, how is this already a fucking rumor? Like, I didn't pick. We
Yeah.
picked five. We picked 5 cars.
Yeah, we picked 5
You're like
different
mad at
wheels.
yourself
I
for
think.
not seeing it coming. God
I think
damn it.
what 1 or 2 were yours.
2 were my customers out of
So
5.
that's less than half.
And then we let. I don't actually know who had pick it.
We just
Probably the
gave
salt
it-
scraper people. I'm
Yeah, we
guessing.
just gave it to them and was like,
And
here's
then
our
they ended up
entries.
picking one of my customers. Turns out, who I mean, probably had the best wheels. I mean,
Yeah, he sure did.
that's probably who I would have picked if I was picking. It was like a cool wheel, and fitment was good, and it was all refinished.
I don't know. I really like that.
So you guys were on like a
brushed-
panel and you merely voted?
No, so,
We walked
so Megan
around
and I
and
just
wrote
walked
them down.
around, and yeah,
which
I
ones
took
we
pictures
wanted,
of them,
yeah.
and was like, "These are the 5. Like you can pick from these ones," and then they picked,
Then they picked.
yeah, one of mine. So not a big deal. Like I said, I'm so used to it.
So
Car
that was
shows.
fun.
Yeah, so we haven't even done an episode since the car show, at least.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
that was the 12th
It,
in March.
it was a couple. It was a couple before that.
Well, I'd apologize, but I don't care. You all can suck it.
Your boy Greaves was fantastic when he came.
In Park
through.
City,
Yeah.
I saw that there was like a show in Park City because there was one in Vail the next day.
At OP Rockwell. Yeah, they said that they were jumping in their fucking van and driving over there.
Peace.
Yeah, straight to Vail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw there was
Right
one in Vail
over.
that came up in my that stupid app you had me get that I like. It's not stupid. Bands in town.
That's stupid app you had to get. Bands in town.
Yeah, but I was
It's a
looking.
fantastic app.
I was looking for other shit, and so it had me searching in Colorado instead of like local to me.
Oh, that makes
And so I got
sense.
that notification. I was like, Vail, cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
well,
that seems like kind of a drive. And I was like, oh, this thing says Colorado.
kind
I
of
was
near
like,
you.
motherfucker.
we were talking to his
How much do you like this artist?
tour manager that is also like doubles as his merch guy. And
Matt?
Yeah. And he was like, we're going straight over to Colorado tonight. And I was like, oh, fuck. Tour life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dedicated.
He was real drunk.
There's
Greaves was.
2 I messaged 2 artists that are coming to town, and one of them's like top 5 for me.
Who?
His name's Sage Francis. You have no idea who that is. That's fine.
I'm like, who?
We'll play some Sage Francis right here in the video somewhere.
Yay. Pause
That was
for dramatic
good.
effect.
Yeah, see, I told you it was really good.
Wow, great.
Anyway, so I messaged 2 of them, hoping that one of them will say yes. We had 2 other artists that were going to come on, and then we just didn't record podcasts, so I didn't want to bother them, try to set something up. So
That's what we talked about.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
kind of like back to we want more interesting people on the show. And I know that I posted about it like a long, long time ago that, you know, if you're
People can
interesting,
nominate
come on the
people.
show. And
Nominate
then
yourself, nominate
and
your
then
friends.
everyone was like, oh,
Let the judges pick.
I'm a mom, let me on. And I'm like, that's,
Not really.
being a mom's not cool, and nobody
like-
thinks it's impressive except you.
or who else? There's some people's like, I have a beard. I'm like,
I also have a
give
beard.
Fuck.
That's
Like,
not how
unless-
you become a guest. That's how you
Unless
become the
you've
host.
won like a beard championship, like I don't care.
You too can become the host.
To be fair, if you've won a beard championship, don't talk to me. Thank you.
If you've even entered in one.
If you've even entered
If you've ever turned your head into the bird in a bird
the
cage,
bird cage,
you can fuck right off entirely.
the octopus one,
monkey
I thought was
tail?
pretty dope.
They're all stupid. Like they're
Oh,
creative
like the
and it's
monkeys
cool.
in a barrel.
No, the monkey, how it like wraps around.
Oh, like that little.
Don't do that.
Ian told me he wants
This is
to
too much.
shave his beard off so he can like scare me. I'm like, please fucking don't. Like,
Have
Not
you ever
worth
seen him
the
without
prank.
facial hair?
no,
I haven't either.
no. I've seen him with like a lot smaller facial hair than he has. But
It doesn't matter. Once it's all gone, it's completely different.
I've never seen him baby face, and I do not want him to.
You should shave part of his face in the
like-
middle of the night so he's committed. to
He's
do it
like,
all.
I need to know that you'll love me no matter what I look like. I'm like, that's just.
There's a huge
just
caveat here.
please don't.
You're asking a lot of a relationship.
I'm like, I love you no matter
Anything
what.
but.
I love you no
but,
matter
like,
what, but I swear to God, if I see you look like a fucking child, it's done.
it's over.
You turn 12
So
overnight,
bad.
you'll
I
have a
see
problem.
that like white beard line.
Oh, yeah,
It
'cause
has
you
not seen
yeah.
sun for how many years?
It'll be so soft though.
Maybe his hair's so thick he'll probably like
I feel like
get like
sandpaper.
shivers and it
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
grows back out.
Get shivers. It grows out.
Shivers.
He like shakes the hair out of his
You know, like,
face.
Like every time.
It's so random.
Every time I like shave my legs and get out of the tub and get cold, it just fucking spikes back up. I'm like, God damn it.
That's actually just because your skin is tightening up because all the
and
blood
the
is
hairs
being pulled
pop
out.
out.
Well,
It makes me so
it's not
mad.
making your hair stick back
I'm
out.
like, I just fucking
You're supposed
shaved
to.
you
You're supposed to
off.
be shaving your. You're supposed to put really hot water on as hot as you can, then the shaving whatever, then shave it like while it's getting cold, and then as you're shaving it, be rinsing it with cold water.
I'm not gonna fucking rinse myself
It's
in
a
cold
process.
water while I'm taking a shower. That
Okay,
sounds
so here are your two
awful.
options. You can do that, or you can bitch that your hair grew back when you got out of the shower.
Grew back.
You definitely can't do both of those things at the same time.
I'm
This is
just
not
trying
how
to
it
be as
works.
smooth as a dolphin
Wait.
all the time.
Who was the dude? Was it? Fuck. Was that something argument I got into? Might have been.
An argument? Probably. You get into a lot of
Shocked.
arguments.
No, there was a guy. Remember, there was a guy who's like, I'm doing this. Does that mean I'm gonna be on the podcast now?" Or
Oh,
something?
that guy.
What was that about?
He
I
was
have
like
no
he's
idea.
like, did I make your podcast now? He was talking about it was the guy who
'Cause-
posted the 23rd Amendment thing.
Oh, the 27th Amendment.
27th
Because he's
Amendment.
dumb and he doesn't know the 27th Amendment.
That was so.
Not that you
funny.
should even know, but if you're gonna post the 27th Amendment, you might want to fucking Google
Might
the
wanna-
27th
At
Amendment
least.
before you post a meme
'Cause
that
guess
thinks
what?
that it's the 27th
We don't
Amendment.
live in the 50s anymore. We can look shit up.
You can really just you can Google it right
Go to
there
the
on your
fucking
random
library.
computer.
Go to the library. Get an encyclopedia.
Go to the library and get the newest edition of Family Circle.
Family circle.
You guys ever seen Family Circle magazine? Like an old, I don't know what's inside of it. It implied like it was like a magazine kind of for the whole family.
I've seen.
And it had like things that families could do together, you know, like tips and whatever.
Was this like in the
I've
90s?
seen specific
I don't know,
articles.
yeah, probably because I would see it at like dentist's office, like when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like that type of place. I don't really remember. Now I kind of want to know what it is, but not enough to look it up. Cause
I love finding like old, like 40s and 50s articles about like housewives and like house living. It is so.
you like reading that
funny.
because it seems like as somebody in 2018, you'd be like, "What? I'm not doing all that stuff."
No,
Go
it's
fuck
just
yourself.
it's just so funny what like.
What do you mean they took care of the entire
said.
house, cooked dinner for everybody?
How?
There was one
How
that
the
was
hell?
like tips on how to make your husband's day better when he comes home from work, and one was like, make sure that
pretty
you
simple.
don't talk about your own day because whatever you went through is not even close
Oh, yeah,
to
you
what
sent
your
me that.
husband
You
went
actually
through.
sent me that because now I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. I was like,
I was
"Oh,
like, holy
that's real
shit."
though."
Yeah, it was like make sure the kids are quiet and clean, and I was like,
Can you
"Fuck."
imagine if somebody like remade that book now and just changed the dates and didn't say anything about it? And it
Yeah,
was just
if
like
they-
stick out. People would
if
lose
they
their
put
fucking
that
mind.
out, oh my god, I want to do that now.
Times have changed.
You should.
Oh my gosh.
Do it. Write a book. Don't be a pussy.
Write a book.
Yeah, that's not that hard.
Oh, I need your Audible password so I can.
Bro, I just put so much new stuff on Audible.
Yeah, I know. I want to listen to that Gary Vee one. Ian's been reading
I
it
think I
and he
saved
loves
it. I can
it.
send it to you if I have it.
It's probably changed because I keep having to change it because I don't remember what it is when I have to give it to people.
Oh, it's antelope something.
Yeah, thanks. Great. Now I had to change all the passwords.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
all the passwords.
Says password on
That's
podcast.
my my internet password, by the way, is antelope something.
Antelope something.
Figure it
Something.
out, bitches.
Capital S.
I don't know if that's gay.
It is. It is. So other than this show, we're gonna do like live ones probably again.
Yeah.
Faggot Swayze.
We're trying to figure out what would be like the best way to go live, but also try to interact with everybody.
I feel like every time we go live, I spend more time reading comments,
Right.
and I don't want to do that. Like, not that I mind
this
like
way
interacting.
we can go live and we can all comment and interact too.
Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah, but we
Pretty cool.
can't. Yeah,
That would
I'm
be
gonna
like
do that
two
for
of
this
us.
episode.
But it's gonna be hard for us to like just keep going back and like checking and stuff. But one of my ideas was that we would do live, and then the last like 10 or 15 minutes we'd go through and
Go back
answer all
and
your
read.
questions.
Yeah.
But that means you have to stick around for the whole fucking hour. So
Or you can just
Stick
listen
around.
back to the recording,
yeah, true.
assuming that you asked a question and then left. Because you had to leave because of an emergency. You don't just turn it off because that's kind
Yeah,
of-
who does that?
No.
I do all the time.
Lives.
I just tried listening to another podcast and I had to shut it off partway through again.
Is it
12 minutes in.
weird that I like re-listen to ours all the time?
I re-listen to like certain episodes because they come
Yeah.
up in my YouTube shit, and I'm just like, ah, sure. And I'll just—it's while I'm doing something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't sit there and watch it,
I'll like
Most of the
re-listen just like if I'm in the shower or something, like getting ready for work.
and then you
Plug
find
my
yourself
phone in.
laughing at yourself.
Someone will mention something about it, and I'll
fucking
go
do.
back and listen. Like, I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Same.
What?
Like, are you sure it's the same podcast?
Me?
I sent a couple to my friend, and he mentioned one of the things we talked about at work today, and I was like, oh my god, that's right. I think it was the watch me milk myself
Yes,
episode.
that was so good.
That was like
And I still do.
that's my favorite episode.
Want to
that we've
watch?
ever done.
That was episode 17, right?
Watch me milk.
Yeah, I think
17.
so.
It's like fucking boring.
I have gotten a lot of other like duplicate people in my DMs, like, hey, but nobody said anything crazy to me lately. So lack of crazy. And lack
So
of
maybe
dick
that's
pics.
the 1,000 people listening to the podcast each time.
An influx of threesome requests again.
What they meant
Really?
by that was, hey, heard your podcast.
Right?
Wait, they're
hey.
offering themselves into a threesome that would involve you and Ian?
No, like they want me to come.
Oh,
into,
they want
like,
you to join. Oh yeah,
yeah.
you sent me the one.
Yeah,
that was
there
one
was
I
like
probably wouldn't
another
jump
one.
into.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I was not being offered.
Awkward, but kind of a compliment.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thanks,
Well,
but no.
Okay, so look, I thought the same thing too. I was like, oh, it's a compliment. But then I was like, or they just think you're a slut.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
They're like,
Like-
oh, we can definitely get this girl.
Yeah, she's for sure about to take this L.
And then I just
Like
get
that's an offer that you can't
random ass-
refuse.
Right.
I have
Oh, she'll never say no.
I
to
should make a
this.
She'll
segment.
Never.
I should make
Who
a
would
segment.
turn that down?
Me?
How
She's
could
turning me
they?
down.
She's turning us down.
Both
of us to our faces.
You guys are ridiculous.
Oh my god.
So
goddamn
I could
ridiculous.
I could make myself a new segment of either two things.
What?
I could either do one of people who blocked me that week,
Oh.
because this week's been pretty plentiful, which
Yeah.
is weird.
People have said that they wanted to hear those too.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
People are like,
What?
God, your block list must be ridiculous.
Oh.
Well, and I can like name some, but like I don't. You don't
we'll have like a
technically know.
featured block of the week.
Dude, this guy blocked me today, and it was like the funniest thing ever because it's like he was wrong. Like not even.
That's
it
how
wasn't.
it always
yeah, it's-
goes, right?
Well, right, but it wasn't like
Once
a
they realize
debatable
that.
topic. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, his conversation literally was. He was saying that the 4G63, which is an engine that comes in like old DSMs, the Evo, blah blah. He was saying,
Pre Evo 10.
yeah, that's the 4B11. Anyway, none of that part matters. He was saying that one really, 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 really good engine was not as good as his Subaru engine,
Oh God.
and
does
you
this
know
happen?
we have
it's
people.
always Subarus too.
Yeah.
Like, why are you giving Subaru such a bad name? Like, just
It's not me.
it's mediocre. Okay, like
No, the thing is,
Well,
I
everyone
know that
else
there's a
either
bunch of
knows
people
it
who
to be
listen
true or
to
knows
Subaru.
it to be not true.
yeah.
Well, it's like
true.
Subaru kids are like, I like it, so maybe I'm gonna go at
Subaru
it.
owners
Yeah.
mostly admit that the Evos are better.
Yeah,
Because I remember
That's
Subaru
true.
guys used to fall back and say, well, our interiors are better, which also isn't true.
yeah.
But,
That's true, unless they're new.
like, if you're
and they find out the hard way
yeah, it's
in a comment thread.
this dude.
Blocked.
Getting
Getting eaten alive.
This dude was
fucking
like
flamed.
arguing with me, and then it turned into this. Like, he tried to make it super personal, but he did it in like the weirdest way ever.
Oh
like,
my
I've been
God.
attacked personally quite
Betty
a bit.
called you fat.
No, he didn't, because
Oh,
he is
damn
also
it.
fat and he can't fucking do that.
Original.
And his beard
Damn
looks
it.
like shit, so he can't say that shit
Shit.
either. But no,
He
this
knows his
dude,
beard looks like shit.
He's like, fuck. What do I have on this guy?
dude,
Nothing.
his beard
Can't
looks
mention
like
beards because mine looks like dog shit.
It's
his
terrible.
beard looks like he was like hiding fucking bugs in it for birds to eat
Ew.
because they fucking rip that shit apart.
Yeah, dude.
His face is like
That works
It doesn't
well.
matter anyway.
Wait, so what was the?
That's a good
what
idea.
was the
Well,
insult?
so he started saying that he's like, He said, he goes, do you know about cars or you just pretend to know everything? Or do you work on cars or do you just pretend to know everything? And to be like, the conversation, like I said, was very one-sided. The 4G63 is better than an EJ out of a Subaru. That's not a question to anybody.
Yeah.
Literally nobody will question that.
Did everyone else jump in too?
There was numerous people, including his friends, told him that it was that.
They're like, what the fuck, man?
That's what
Shut
always
up.
happens.
So
He must have been new, and he was learning.
They're like,
finding out
"Stop,
hard.
man."
no, and that's
Stop.
the thing. Like
Bro.
I've listened to him talk at
Bro, read my
at a
message.
shop.
I said stop,
I said stop.
bro.
I've listened to him at a shop, and he doesn't know much. He doesn't really pretend to. I mean, he does the kind of new car guy where he like repeats information that he does know because he thinks somebody at some point will care. Nobody does.
Oh, we've all
Nobody
seen
does
that.
that.
Oh my god.
Classic.
But he ended up like turning it into must be nice when your mommy and daddy pay for all your stuff.
You're like,
And this is a kid I
what?
met who knows me. Like this is not like a person who read my Facebook profile for 20 seconds and then made a
Right.
weird assumption. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, you're like, what?
And then he like goes on to like rant about, he's like, I moved, he's like, my family's well off too, and they could have done this for me and blah blah. And I was, and
that
I was
doesn't
like,
have anything
I was
to
like,
do with
I was
the
like,
argument.
No one cares.
well, I mean, he went to obscenely personal, like random things because the argument wasn't an argument. He was wrong, and there was really nothing he could say about that. He
Right.
should have just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But no, he like goes on and on about like my parents bought me everything, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, maybe you don't pay attention when you're out trying to impress everybody with the things you say. And I was like, what? Like, give me an example. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I've been around this kid before, right?
Yeah.
I've talked around
You
him.
like know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
But he goes,
Him.
he said, oh, like the brand new truck that you were driving in high school that your parents bought. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that was my dad's truck.
You're like,
I was
didn't
like-
claim that was mine.
I was 16 years old.
Most high school
probably
kids
wasn't buying a
don't
brand
buy
new truck.
Cars.
Well, yeah, it's like you're in high school. Like every single car in that parking lot was probably bought by a parent.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
True.
this wasn't ever like claimed to be mine. I was driving a '69 Firebird to school at the time. Every once in a while, like when it would snow, I would drive my dad's fucking truck, which was a brand new F-150. And it wasn't like the only reason he even knows that story is because I told him, or that knows about the F-150 thing, is because I told him that our school used to have a closed campus, but they had one parking lot that stayed open, and the only thing that separated it was a curb. So if I wanted to leave, I would drive the truck that day because the truck was not bought for anything. The
Pop
truck was
over
just,
the curb.
and I would just drive over the curb and leave.
What?
Because
So
like,
they closed it so you guys couldn't leave?
Yeah.
yeah, we had closed campus. Like white schools have stuff like that.
I mean, I went to Jordan High. We, didn't,
Skyline tried to.
we didn't have that shit.
Yeah, it's super hard to enforce.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and ultimately, there's nothing that anybody can do if you were like, I'm fucking leaving, other than if you. I think once you're at school, like you're their responsibility or something.
Yeah.
And so there's some. I'm sure if something happened, like it's still their fault. And then if you don't come back, they can make you truant.
Or your parents' fault, and then your parents like get sent to court. Like I ditched
Yeah.
school so much in middle school that
I'm shocked.
yeah, I know. But
I'm
the
amazed.
principal would literally be
No
like
way.
waiting at the door for me to come back with my coffee from the gas station.
Oh my god.
We used to get that. I used
Your
to get my
truancy
math.
got so bad it was
It
predictable.
was. No, he would like watch us leave and he'd like know when we're gonna come back and he'd be like in my office. I'm like, fuck,
Oh
God,
my.
let's call your parents. I'm like, God, again.
I only had
I'm like,
one
your school
class
sucks.
after lunch for one of the trimesters in school,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to leave and get lunch because like we had like cool lunchroom options for high school. I mean, like Pizza Hut and McDonald's and
Oh shit.
like in our and fucking
We had like
anti and
breadsticks
pretzels or whatever.
from.
Soggy bread.
No, we had like
Yes,
so
they
no,
were
we had
always
like
so gross.
we had like a random lunchroom, and then like
Like a-
there was like this weird little hall of like restaurants. Like we had Subway and a bunch of like random ones,
dope.
and
pretty much a private school.
it's not.
Basically.
Anyway, so they would like keep us there, but we would always skip out like for lunch, and I used to come back and we'd always be like on time, but by the time we got back, we didn't have time to eat our food
Oh, yeah,
because we had to
that
like
makes
go
sense.
kind of far away to get like whatever we wanted. Wendy's,
Yeah.
I think, was like the one at the time, but we'd come back and eat, and it was me and two other kids had the same class, like third or fourth period, whatever it was, and we would have come in with like we'd all have Wendy's bags.
They're like, what the fuck? You
And
left?
yeah, this math teacher was like, he finally came up after I don't know why he
after
picked me.
a few times.
Yeah, it was like the third or fourth time because we didn't go every day or anything.
Right.
And he gave it to me, not the other two, just me.
That's weird.
And he goes, you know, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody about the fact that you leave campus every day. And I was like,
You're like, what do you mean?
I'm like,
every
I think I'm
day?
sitting there eating my fucking burger, and I'm like, no, you don't.
You're like, I didn't leave.
He goes, you know,
Talking about
you're
Willis.
our responsibility. And I was like, no. You know,
No.
like I'm not. I don't know, like what the fuck you're talking about.
So monotone. I bet
Well, I'm,
you
like,
were a
eating my
bitch in high
food.
school.
Well, it's like math teacher was kind of cool. He was like one of those dudes, like he was always the cool teacher, and then I had him, and I was like, you're less cool than people made you out to.
Yeah.
You were cooler when I wasn't your actual.
You got
student.
hyped up.
That's the worst.
But so what I fucking suckered him into, because he wasn't like fat. He was like a baseball coach
You're
or
like,
whatever.
how about I buy you something?
But I mean, like you could tell he got
Whenever
down
I
with some
go.
food. Yeah, so I was like, hey, so how about I just buy you lunch? So you don't have to be all mad about lunch. And he's like, he goes,
I did that to one of my teachers.
he said
too.
something like, no. He's like, you're not bribing me. I was like, I'm not bribing you. I'm bringing you back lunch. Here's the thing. I'm going to keep going no matter what. Like, that's not going to
Let
change.
me lay this
Help
out
me.
for
I was
you.
like, yeah. So, like, if you're trying to benefit from it all, if I'm trying to kick you down a junior bacon cheeseburger, I'll fucking do that.
Right.
Like, it's not a big, it's $1, Mr. Norris. It's $1.
Mr.
I will
Norris.
fucking bring it back. But,
I think I've done that to one of my teachers too.
yeah, I've bribed people. I fucking tried to bribe my science teacher with weed.
Oh, did it work?
I don't know. It seemed like it really was going to, but she said no.
Oh,
Like,
she was
it
like,
was
I
like-
wish I could, but like I
Teased it.
can't.
I was like, you're 10 out of 10 gonna smoke weed.
Yeah.
And she probably did. She's the same. Well, she was my science teacher, but she ended up getting like kicked out or like whatever happens. What happens when you can't be a teacher anymore? Suspended? No, I don't know. Anyway, fired,
Laid off.
I guess.
Yeah.
But no,
fired.
like
Let go.
she like banged out a student.
That happens.
She was
a
pretty
lot,
hot.
actually.
So I would have like.
Did
10
you
men
guys
would've
see
smashed.
that video of I think it was a high school teacher that this kid recorded on his Snapchat? She just fucking cuts up a line on her desk and does it. There's nobody.
No, it's a
there
fucking
was nobody
teacher-
in the classroom or
Yeah,
anything.
he's like filming through the door of
Through
the
the
classroom.
door, yeah, and the
Oh, weird.
classroom is dark, but she like has a mirror and she's like
And
chopping
it's
it
like-
out, and then she straight up
Yeah, and it's like
just rails this
she
gnarly
doesn't even try to
line.
hide it. That's the part that fucked with me. I
She's
mean,
not in the corner. She
yeah,
just
she's
is
just
like,
like
on
sitting
her
at like
desk.
a desk.
Yeah.
Weird. She's like, I'll
And
just do
not
this.
even like sitting down at the desk. Like she has it like
Yeah,
in
it's
her
on the
hands.
fucking desk. Like her
three
palm
Yeah,
is above the desk.
like she's like blatantly doing that, and he got on Snapchat, and then it like went around the whole school, and then the principal was like, "Wait a minute."
He's like, I know that teacher.
He's like, that's
been
our,
hitting on her
that's
all
our
year."
school.
Add me. What's your snap?
Right? Hey, girl. Party a lot. Some of the shit that teachers do. I know so many people who are teachers that I see at shows, and it is like so weird to me.
Not doing any drugs. I'm
No,
I'm
none,
No, sober.
none.
100% confident.
No, but it's so crazy to see
Where's it
like
go for?
positive members of society just like getting ratchet. It's like
I
my
think because like
favorite thing.
that's the type of people that
Yeah.
you need though. Like in society,
Yeah.
like if everybody was closer to that, where they were just like responsible, not fuck ups, whatever, and then on the weekends kind of fuck up a little bit.
Yeah,
like
like-
that's
You-
perfect.
You have to like let that steam off. You have to like let that like pressure off in order to like
than
actually
fake uptight
function.
people.
you end up with all these
Yeah.
fucking like uptight assholes
Fake perfect.
that
Yep,
are mad
exactly.
about like the dumbest shit.
And I love it. I love seeing that. I'm like, oh, aren't you?
You get
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy your life a little.
Yeah, right. I'm like,
There was always hella rumors about one of my English teachers. She was like kind of this hippie ass chick, and supposedly she was married to another teacher, but I can't see him smashing, so I don't really know.
Don't want
An
They
to.
didn't have
arranged
this. They didn't
marriage.
have, well, they didn't have the same name. You know what I mean? And like, but I don't know.
I
People
feel like
always
some
introduce them
teachers
together
don't because they go by their last names. Like when they do get
Yeah.
married, they don't like.
because they'd have to make a new name tag and all that shit.
Oh wow, so hard.
Make a new reputation.
Mrs.
Yeah,
Campbell.
Right.
Anyway, I heard this teacher. She used to. This was in Washington, obviously, but she used to go down to the Oregon Shakespearean Festival, and I used to get detention a lot, and so like it would be
No.
like stuck with her.
Not for arguing or
That's
talking
weird.
back, right?
Nope. But no, this I used to hear all these fucked up stories about the Oregon Shakespearean Festival. Well, she was
It sounds
talking.
pretty lit.
I don't know if she like forgot I was in the room or just like didn't give a fuck or whatever. But I'm like sitting there in detention, like hanging out. Which, by the way, I only went to detention my sophomore year because I realized there's nothing they can fucking do if you don't go.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally nothing. I found that out my senior year when they're like, we're not going to let you walk at graduation.
You're
I was like,
okay.
I was like, cool. I haven't
Awesome.
been to school for the last 30 days of every school year since I was like 8 years old. So fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, you went golfing.
Yeah,
though, huh?
I used to get pulled out early to go golfing.
But I mean, they shouldn't blame it on you. That's like your parents gave you permission. And they,
No, nobody's blaming it on me. My parents said, hey, guess what? This is what's happening. And they would tell them every year.
Yeah.
And
So they
so I
should,
would
like-
end up having to do like a bunch of fucked up extra homework and shit. Well, not extra,
Oh,
but I'd have to
like
cram it all
packets
in
and
that same
shit.
day
Yeah.
or before that day. But
Do
anyway,
that because I failed math.
this girl easy packets.
Yeah.
I always hear people getting punished with packets, and I always kind of like I guess I know what it is in my head.
I thought it was,
But
to
I've
do
never
shit,
had it.
like early, faster, like accelerated.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. So
Oh,
like
it
I
can be,
failed. I
you
failed
do it.
a year of math, so I had to do a whole year within like 2 weeks before graduating, or I wasn't graduating. so they're like,
God.
"Here, do these 6 math packets,
Here,
and we'll
catch
call
up
it good."
Do these
Yeah,
do this
literally.
bullshit to up our statistics for graduation rates so we
Exactly.
can get
That's
more money.
literally what it is. Like I'm pretty sure I failed all of those packets.
Oh
like
my
they didn't even
God.
grade
Just
them.
write down some numbers.
Literally.
You're just like A B C D A
And
B
it was
C
like
D.
I
Maybe.
busted out 6 of them in like 2 weeks. Like fuck no, they were terrible. And I
sorry.
graduated, so that's good.
Good job, Megan.
Yay, Jordan.
Go team. No, but this lady, I mean, part of me thinks that she just didn't know I was in the room or forgot because I was in detention for
She
a
just
while,
like doesn't care.
like a while. Like I had like an hour of detention to make up or something. Instead of like they were in like 15-minute and 10-minute increments.
I was like, is that?
And I'd be getting like
Detention?
15, 30 at a time.
Oh my god.
And then, like I said, kids, don't fucking go because there's nothing they can do.
Right.
Fuck right off. Unless you want to walk at graduation, but that's gay shit.
Do
Yeah, I was
something
like,
better.
You don't even have to walk. It's
Anyway, but she's talking to somebody on the phone. And this is like a school phone, right? Because she's not on a cell phone.
But, like,
in
with the cord?
1997.
oh.
Yeah, the big fucking like spirally cord, but it has to be the long one because you have to be able to walk across the
Yeah.
classroom and still be on it.
Hell long.
It's the one that when you hang it up, it like
It's all knotted
spirals.
Up, yeah.
But she's like talking to somebody, like, you know, one of her friends about like their plans because the Oregon Shakespearean Festival's coming up and they're like going up there. And I remember like really clearly, she's like, yeah, I was thinking about wearing this. She's like, you've seen those panties before though. And I was like, and like,
Are
I
you
had,
coming on to me?
now keep in mind, I had looked up the Oregon Shakespearean Festival because she kept bringing it up. Like it's all we fucking talked about. And ironically, I ended up living in the city that it was in, like years down the road. But it's
Did you ever run into her?
no. I used to think about. I was like, man, what if I ran into her? I'd try to smash. That bitch was kind of cute. But
Especially when she's all hippie and out at the Shakespearean Festival.
yeah. But I was like,
Let
well, when I
loose.
looked
You've
up
seen those panties before.
I looked up the information about the Oregon Shakespearean Festival, and I was like, this is not like party shit. Like this is all like old people that take Shakespeare real serious.
Yeah.
And there's like hella stages that they perform in a place called Ashland, Oregon. And it's like a big deal. And like the town, it's like a tourist town, and they like do this whole thing for the festival. And it's annoying as fuck because pedestrians can walk across the street anywhere, and it's like against the law for you to not stop. Like it doesn't matter where it is. They can walk out between two cars and you can hit them, and it's 100% your fault.
Oh my god, that's
And-
so annoying.
But I looked up and I don't know what the fuck she was talking about, but like the rest of the conversation, like you could tell that she was into some shit. And I was like, man, that's so fucking like weird, you know, because you're like Miss McNeely. Holy fuck, that's her name.
You remember?
So random. I was like, this is like super weird because like I don't picture you being like that. Like she's kind of hippie-ish, but like
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
hearing,
couldn't-
the rest of the
she couldn't
conversation that
display
I'm
that in the
creating.
classroom.
No, right. But like the rest of the conversation that I'm creating in my head is like super fucked up, and maybe it wasn't that fucked up.
You were just
Like,
a teenager,
maybe-
like
yeah,
blowing
maybe
it out of proportion.
Maybe she was having like a
believe it.
perfectly
She said
normal
panties.
conversation. Yeah, like it could have been nothing.
Right.
And anyway, but then in like 2000, so that would have been like 1997, I'm guessing, or 8. And then in 2001, I moved to Southern Oregon to that fucking town, and I found out the shit that goes on at these festivals.
You're like, oh.
There's definitely like the group of people who come in and they stay in a hotel and they're in by 9 o'clock after the last act or whatever, and nothing. Then there's the fucked up people who have this weird fucked up partying thing that happens in this weird park, and
A
it gets pretty
naked
fucking
party?
live. there's definitely nudity at it. It's not a naked party. There's not like dicks flying around everywhere or whatever. But there's titties out pretty much all over.
Yeah.
And
It's like Shakespearean Mardi Gras.
I was like, dude, this thing is so fucking weird. I went.
You did?
I went.
Sounds pretty
No,
Oregon.
so I went as
Sounds
like
like Oregon.
as a spectator because I didn't believe some shit like this was going on, but my buddy had told me about it,
Right.
and I was like,
You're
all right,
"There's
all right.
No way.
Had to find out.
I was like, we'll go fucking check. And we fucking went, and it's like this full fucking weird ass party where there's clearly like alcohol and drugs being used, and the police know about it because the police department's like right there,
Oh.
and they don't give a fuck.
They're like me.
And it was weird, and it got really weird when they started talking, but like in Shakespearean accents. Like all these motherfuckers are all on drugs, having conversation. No, they're like making it up, like they're
In like Shakespearean
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
That like old ass.
like old English,
Yeah.
and like with weird accents and shit. And I'm just like, the fuck.
You're like, I'm not
Like,
into
y'all
this.
haven't even done that many drugs. Like, why are you guys doing that? But I mean, I
Why
guess
are you
it's
guys-
like a
you
culture
guys
thing to
haven't
them or
even done that
something.
many drugs.
I'm just saying.
If you can do that while on drugs, like that's talent.
What, like being Shakespeare?
Being like Shakespeare mode. While
They
on
think that
drugs.
fool was like.
Fucked up all the
They
time.
think he was fucked up all the time on drugs. I don't remember what drug they said it
Opium.
was. Yeah, was it opium? Anyway,
Back in the day, everything was opium.
Yeah, but
'cause
he
it
would've
was-
had weed
It was
back
thought
then.
to be so harmless.
Yeah.
anyway.
But not that strong.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think everything's relative. But no, wait, what? Oh yeah, they were saying that a bunch of his stories are not like the story of Romeo and Juliet is not a love story.
No,
That
of
it's like-
course it's not.
It's the exact opposite. It's telling you that love is basically ridiculous.
Yeah. Love is a lie.
And-
Just kidding.
Okay, miss, I'm in a relationship.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Hi, Ian.
In Shakespeare's mind.
Shakespeare don't know.
He's like, don't be a dumb teenager and kill yourself over stupid girls.
Yep.
Or the other way around.
That
Stupid
sounded,
boys.
that sounded super gay.
You know.
Well, that was really complicated. He killed himself because he thought she had killed herself.
Yeah.
And she came out
But
from a
she
coma
was faking it, and then she was like, "Oh my god, my love,"
and then killed herself.
and then killed herself. So they're both dead. So
And
like,
both their names were
Dumb
stupid.
shit.
both their names are stupid.
Wasn't it one like Mercutio or something?
Mercutio.
No, that's from.
That's his friend. That's Romeo's best friend, Mercutio.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I went to some shit. Anyway, I used to go to like the plays. My girlfriend at the time like thought the plays at the Shakespearean Festival were awesome, and they weren't. But I went.
They weren't.
Which play did I just saw? Oh, I went and saw the Book of Mormon, and that was
That's pretty
so
funny.
fucking funny.
I saw that super high. But
The
it was
satire
super
one, right?
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And then before that, we went to go see Lion King, and that one was great. I'm pretty sure I cried.
How do you not know?
Well, because I'm trying to think of like everything that I went to in order.
You don't know if you cried at Lion King?
Oh no, I definitely cried at Lion King.
Good grief.
I know.
I still am weirded out by the levels.
That's fine.
It just seems like,
Because they're low.
Well, you
Yeah.
like changed everything, right?
well, no, it's all new operating system and new install of Audacity. Like everything's new.
Well, then yeah. So then maybe those levels are just like the new version of the levels that are the exact same as old levels, sound wise.
Okay.
Get on my level.
Okay.
Get on my level.
Okay, Bill Nye, calm down.
I know.
Science.
Jesus Lord. Anyway, so I think the plan, I'm going to put this up as a live video, but it's not really live. Gotcha.
So when we don't
Tricked
respond to you,
ya.
don't feel
Yeah,
butthurt.
look, I'm replying to you right now, but I'm not typing. How the fuck is that happening?
We'll answer questions at the end or
Yeah,
never.
if you comment on stuff like, we'll respond. We are gonna do way better at stuff like that.
Yeah, and we're actually going to do these once a week,
Yeah,
except the
once a
times
week.
that we're not around.
But I feel like we're gonna do better at like telling you that it's not gonna happen if we are not gonna.
Oh,
be
we're going to
around.
warn you that we're going to be fuck ups.
We're gonna be like,
Warning.
oh, skipping this week.
Just a heads
sorry."
up.
Or-
No, I'll
suck
figure out something to
again.
put up if we're ever like can't go. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, we'll give you like a funny video or like another podcast that we enjoy. Oh, that's yeah.
A
That's a great
substitute.
idea.
Yeah.
Like an episode of some other podcast that we enjoy.
I got fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay, I have to pee anyway.
Oh, don't you always have to pee?
Every hour on the hour.
That's so sad.
I know, I got a little bladder.
I like that your hands are on your knees, like powering through it. Like
I
this.
really am.
Athletic
And
stance.
I'm like laughing and it
Athletic
hurts
stance.
so bad.
All right. Well, it's been basically an hour.
Tearing
Not
up.
quite.
I mean, you guys can keep going if you just wait like 2 seconds. I'll like your back.
Well, I think we
Nah,
were kind of
good.
done anyway because we wanted it to be an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So I'm fine with it.
I guess we can try to keep these an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like if so wait, if the thing goes, when we do it live, and if we're answering questions in the last like 15 minutes or whatever, if there's hella questions, we'll go longer.
Yeah,
Just by
for
default,
sure.
we're not gonna like
Sure.
have a fucking buzzer. When the buzzer goes off, we
We're
hit the
not
camera
gonna
and
power through your questions.
you only get half an answer to some shit or
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
And then we're gonna line up some other cool guests, I think.
Yes.
So we'll come up with something.
Nominate your friends.
New.
Unless they suck.
New podcast.
Yeah, then don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't. If you have a beard, no, you can't be on it. If you're just a
have
mom,
a
no,
beard.
you can't be on
Stan has
it.
a
If you
beard.
own some shitty car, no, you can't be on it.
True.
So don't ask.
What
DNQ.
if it's a cool car?
Probably doesn't.
If they're wheels that Sean has done, definitely VIP, 100%. You'll win every time. Just kidding.
No, she's not on the show. That's so
Not at shows, but you can be on the podcast.
Right.
No, wait, you can win at shows, but you can't be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, you'll probably win at shows,
You'll-
but it's
you'll-
not 100% guaranteed.
But it's not Sean's
Being
vote.
on the podcast is closer to 100%.
I should be the person that votes, though.
You really should.
Everyone thinks you are.
I
anyway.
get so many questions about wheels every day. I should make a page that's dedicated to wheel information. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, wait.
Anyway, we'll talk about that some other
Love
day.
you guys.
Later.
God damn, let my dick be.